Rogue tier, we still winning. Magic card, oh, we extending. Dark Law, he still contending. Sunrise, your lights in it. Yugi peoples, welcome to the commentary. It's your boy, Timothy motherfucking Scott, back at you again. It feels like I've been retired for about a month. So we back in action here. Last tournament for this format, and we ended up going undefeated 4-0. Like I said, felt like I haven't played in a month. Didn't change my deck. This is still the same branded hero deck with no changes. And yeah, we're just gonna let y'all see what it do. We went 4-0 in Swiss, and then I had to drop out in top cut because I actually had to go to work. So yeah, unfortunate, but we got 3 visuals coming at y'all from this tournament, starting with my round 2 matchup here. This is against Nutria's, and as you can see, I am reading everything that he is doing here because I have no idea what none of these cards do. Apparently, you know, they make Nat Beast, so Nat Beast is on the board. I think he's got some fairy chick that she can be an omni negate if he has like a certain number of monsters on the board, and it's got like another effect or something too. But my hand was actually pretty nuts coming off inside of here. For some reason, I opened up with 3 super polys, which actually turns out to be pretty effective in this matchup because Nat Beast cannot negate it. And you know, before I start trying to super poly stuff off and doing whatever, I'm trying to figure out what all kinds of graveyard effects and different things that we have going on here. So yeah, after figuring out, or you know, asking him what everything does because I don't want to read the cards, and I check to make sure that I can super poly something here, we're gonna go ahead and of course start off with the super poly because my hand is full of spell cards. We're gonna pitch the Shadow Mist to fuse the Plant Lady and the Nat Beast together on the board. We're going to go ahead and get the Shadow Mist effect to go ahead and add the Liquid Soldier, and because I already got the Vion in my hand, and we're going to go ahead and continue our turn from here. I'm going to go ahead and summon out that Vion, use his effect to send the other Vion from my deck to the graveyard because I don't want to send Shadow Mist again. And he ends up chaining with the effect of this one monster where I think like if I have more monsters on the board than he has, he is able to special summon 2 of his little Nutria monsters to the board. And he summons one that can negate and then the one that lets him mill for those negates. So it's like some kind of infinite monster negate thing. So we're going to send that, and now we got the Vion off in there. That way I can banish that with the Vion to get the polymerization, and I'm trying to figure out what these things do, like I said, and it turns out it's like some kind of infinite gate where he can mill 2 of them to start negating monster effects, and then I'm pretty sure like the mills would do crazy stuff and start milling stuff, and this one has the effect also to dump something. So now I'm trying to figure out what I need to do in order to be able to win this game. And after looking at it again, I'm just like, okay, just forget it. Instead of dealing with that, I'm a super poly again, discarding the Liquid Soldier because I drew the Miracle Fusion in my hand, so I don't need to have him inside of my hand. I'm gonna go ahead and activate Vion's effect and then chain Mud Dragon to it. That way, you know, in case he had Ash or something like that. So we're gonna use that to go add the poly. I got the Shadow Mist and the Liquid Soldier in the graveyard, so I'm gonna go ahead and Miracle Fusion right here to bring out our boy Big Chill Ab-Zero. And now with his 2500 and Garuda's 3K, that's 55, plus Vion is 65, plus the 1900 from Mud Dragon is GG. So we're gonna shuffle them up there and get ready for round 2. So going into game 2, my opponent is going to go ahead and start us off here, and you know, just not too familiar with how Nutria is. Like I said, I've been kind of out of the game, you know, for a month, not really paying attention to, you know, the meta and what the different cards and new cards do. So even the Ishizu stuff is new to me, and I did not know that there were Ishizu cards inside of this. So he's gonna start off with, I think, what is this, like the Keldo or something like that, and you know, it's something that's gonna start milling a whole bunch of cards, and you can see it hits my branded and gets me a branded opening into the graveyard, hits my super poly, and it hits my my wind kaiju that I put off in there because I figured it was like an easy out to the Nat Beast, which I felt like was like the main threat coming from his deck. So yeah, I want to be able to activate my spell cards because my deck is pretty much all spell cards. And he hits some Nutria stuff, so he starts doing some Nutria combos. And this spell card that he has right here that has the ability to reborn, I guess one of his Nutria monsters is kind of like the card that's going to end up like doing me out here. As y'all can see, I kept like reading his cards, looking at his graveyard because I had Ghost Bell in my hand and I wasn't exactly sure where to use it. But he's going to go ahead and bring out the Magnemite by banishing my Honest Neos. Then he's going to Synchro Summon into Barone there. And actually, I guess never mind. I could not have bailed because he would have just negated it with the Baron anyway. Well, I guess I did bail, and he did not negate it with the Baron. How did I lose this game? And all right, so then he goes, and Magnemite's gonna get his effect at the end of the turn to go ahead and add another dragon. He's gonna get the I can't remember what the name of that card is. Don't even ask me. So, and now I just have Baron pretty much to deal with, and then the one monster. So it's just like I just have to keep in mind that he can. I just have to keep in mind that he has that to be able to hit my monster. So I'm gonna go ahead and Hero lives here. I'm really trying to scare him because like I'm really trying to get him to negate. I'm trying to get out the Baron negate. So I figured if I bring out Shadow Mist, most people are scared of Dark Claw. If he would let me get the mass change, I would have activated the mass change and hoped that he negated that. So now the Shadow Mist gets destroyed because it's negated by the Baron. We're going to go ahead and activate the Branded Opening here, which is the card I really wanted to be able to get off. And we're going to send the Fallen of Albaz and the Tragedy. And we're fisted to go ahead and try to go for an OTK here. Like I said, I have to keep in mind that he does have one of the bestial monsters inside of his hand, so I have to be really careful about like how I go about picking and choosing my targets to, do my fusion summons and everything, because him being able to banish one of them could really like mess me up in the long run. And he brings out another one of these Ishizu monsters that's gonna send back my Lubellion to my extra deck, and this would have been really bad, but because I wouldn't have been able to bring out Albion or well, actually I could have still brought out Masquerade Dragon in this situation. But luckily, when he milled those 5 cards for me, one of the cards that he did hit was the Honest Neos, so I do have a light target to shuffle back and be able to go into my into Albion Dragon. So I'm just looking at him, looking to see what other options and stuff I had, because it's very rare that I've actually been put inside of this situation. So we're just going to shuffle back Albaz and Honest Neos, and we're going to bring out Albion, and out comes Albion. We're going to go ahead and use his effect, fanning out my graveyard, of course, and still, because I have to, like I said, keep in mind and remember that he does have the other bestial monster inside of his hand. And he's checking to see exactly how Albion works, because I believe he is at this point considering doing the bestial play. And he asks what's inside of my graveyard, and of course here comes I believe it's Druid Worm or something like that. So he goes ahead and hits my Tragedy, which I don't really mind. Like I said, the fine thing about it is like he milled some cards into my graveyard, so it's actually helping me out here. So inside of my hand, I didn't search for the Dramaturge because I had it already. So we're going to bring out Masquerade Dragon using the Dramaturge and the Shadow Mist, and so we'll be able to special summon the Dramaturge back out to the board now. And unfortunately, with the Baron on the board, I don't want him like switching that out for anything. All these monsters have like 1900 defense and stuff, so they're pretty big. And I also don't want the other monster to stay on the board because it has that send effect when it leaves the board. So I'm trying to find a way to clear off like most of his board and kind of maintain something intact with mine. So we're going to go ahead and summon out the Aliber. We're going to use Aliber's effect to go ahead and add Branded in red from my deck to my hand. is kind of upset that the Aliber is not strong enough to kill anything. And like right now, I'm steady calculating, trying to figure out if there's a way that I can actually kill him. Which I think if I had thought about it a little harder and play a little bit harder, I might have been able to do it. Because we're gonna suicide there, put the dramaturge into the graveyard, and I actually like could have did the Branded in Red play there, picked up the dramaturge, and used some of my stuff on board in order to make my what's his name, the Guardian Chimera, and then attacked into the Druid Worm thing, and kind of like went from there. But I guess I just didn't think about it at the time. Now this gets cleared, and he asks about the Albion's effect, so he's gonna send the Aliber with his effect. I'm gonna set the Branded in Red, and that's going to be able to bring back my dramaturge in the next turn. He draws for a turn, and I was hoping there was like no good one card that he could really like draw and be able to do something crazy and cool with. So he sets it, and then during the end phase, I'm gonna go ahead and activate Branded in Red here. I am going to go ahead and get back the dramaturge to my hand. And I was really thinking about, I really want to go into Guardian Chimera here. I was just kind of looking at it because I wanted to see if Albion gets this effect if he gets banished, which he does not. So it's all good though. I figured I'll probably still have the game in the bag at this point. So we're going to go ahead and bring out the Guardian Chimera, Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, the Dramaturge, and then Chainlink 3. He's got this monster off in there that's going to summon itself, but I'm going to DD Crow it just because I don't even know what it did. I just didn't feel like I wanted to hit the board. I hit the trap card, draw 2. He's going to get the trap card effect to go search out the spell, but it is during the end phase, so he's not going to be able to do too much with that. I draw for turn. It is Vion. We're going to go ahead and use Vion's effect to send out. I actually end up having to send my other Vion because inside of my deck, actually like going second, I sided out one of the Shadow Mist to go put in like more better going second card. So we have to send the Vion, banish the Vion to go ahead and add this Palmerization from my deck to my hand. And now I'm trying to figure out if there is a way that I can kill him. So, now I see Dramaturge's effect is once per turn. I had used his effect during the end phase of my opponent's turn. So if I do Palmerization with him this turn, I can still get his effect in to special summon him back to the board if he is used for fusion summon. So we're going to Palmerization my Vion and my Dramaturge here. And we're going to go ahead and make I believe I went ahead and made the Mud Dragon here, because it was like the only target I had since my Masquerade Dragon is gone. We're going to use the Dramaturge effect to bring him back. The defense on that monster over there is only 1800, so I'll be able to use the Mud Dragon to attack over it and then hit him for 6300, but it's not quite enough to kill him. I believe I got to set down Forbidden Droplet right there and pass turn to him. Now I know he's got that one spell card inside of his hand, and he's gonna go ahead and drop that now. I just wasn't like not being familiar with the deck. I'm not sure like what kind of plays they can make, with a single monster, or like the effectiveness of this stuff. And he just searches out another one of the spell cards, and I had to go read it. I was like, dang, is this card not once per turn? This card is not once per turn. So yeah, that was kind of a little bit rough there. So you can see me reading it, trying to figure it out. I was like, man, all our cards have been power crept so hard. I wish my cards weren't like once per turn like that. So now he's trying to figure out where to go, what to go from here. And I believe he was asking about the Dramaturge's effect, and then he's trying to figure out what his combo line is here. And now he's gonna use that to bring out the Nutria Beast. And I guess since this thing was used for summoning, he can bring it back out, and then he'll tribute it to bring out another one. And then he's gonna use his normal summon for the turn. It's one of the Ishizu cards, I believe, and he's gonna use that in order to bring out the whatchamacallit guy. Now at this point when he had came out, I used Dramaturge's effect. I did use Dramaturge's effect to negate the Nutria Beast because my face down card is Droplet, but I don't have a monster to really send, so I send the Hero Lives, and he tries to negate it with Nutria Beast, but I was letting him know it's negated by the effect of the Dramaturge, so the Berserker is not going to have. The Nutria Beast is not going to be able to negate the Droplet, and the Berserker's effect is going to half. It's going to half the Berserker, and he's going to drop down to 1500. He had attacked into the Mud Dragon, and yeah, so that's pretty much what happened right there. Because I think he was thinking like it has to. Like, I don't know, it was like a little bit of confusion there as far as like how Dramaturge's effect exactly worked, and then also Forbidden Droplet being activated during the damage step also and stuff. So then after that gets all fixed out and stuff, we go ahead and finish that game. I thought I lost game 2, but I guess not. I ended up winning the game 2-0 my first time against Nutrias. The deck is pretty crazy, and yeah, I was just like, oh, is this what I'm in store in for the rest of this tournament? I really did not feel like I was going to be able to do very good in this, especially not knowing what my opponent's decks and strategies do. But we continued on. We went undefeated, and I appreciate everybody for staying to WoW to listen, and I will catch y'all on the next visual. Ain't nobody messing with the Masked Hero, king of games. Mask off, now you see that a hero lives. I pay half and you ask, but I'm winning games. There ain't another hero that surpasses me.